Good evening and welcome to the Hungerford Games, part one of my very amateurish attempt at a football manager career inspired by all those fantastic YouTubers. Just to give you a bit of background to start with, this is my second season in charge of Hungerford in the Vanarama National League South. In the first season, we finished in the playoffs. Amazingly, we started absolutely dreadfully for the first couple of months. Looked like I might get sacked, relegation might be a thing, but I managed to deploy a few tactics which I'd seen on YouTube and just really kept training the players to play in that system. And suddenly, after much perseverance, results started coming, and then we just went absolutely amazing through the winter time. We had a couple of wobbles, but we got to the playoffs and lost out to Dulwich Hamlet in a two-legged semi-final? Was it just, actually no, it wasn't. We were at home and we were winning at half-time because they'd had to win a game to get there. An extra game to get there. We actually just had to win that one game to get to the final. We were winning 1-0 at half-time, then they absolutely pulverised us second half, and that's the problem with playing this kind of open system that we do. And now into the second season, we're coming towards the business end of the season. It is Tuesday the 2nd of March 2021, and we are, if you can see all this properly, sitting very pretty at the top, but we've been in a two-horse race with Havant and Waterloo for all season. We're both on 76 points because they won on Saturday. We've got a game in hand against St Albans, which is what I'm going to show you in this first episode. And basically, look, we're even, both got the same goal difference. So basically, we have to win our game tonight at home to lowly St Albans, who've been brilliant in the cups but have been terrible in the league, just to restore our 3-point cushion, which we've kind of had. We were basically having to win every week to play catch up with them through this stage of the season, and then we finally wrestled the lead at the top. And I think there's been times where we've even had like a 6 or 7 point lead, but they've chipped away at it a bit recently. We've had a couple of poor results. Most noticeably, we lost 2-1 at home to Havant a couple of weeks ago, which was really poor. We finished the game really strongly, but we were 2-0 down. That was bad. But we've fought back with a good 3-0 win at Farnborough. And you can see our striker Josh Kelly, who isn't our top scorer. That's Harry Crawford. But Josh Kelly's in at the moment. He scored 6 goals from his last 4 games. So we're expecting big things of him now. We've been conceding a few too many goals recently as well. I guess if I do more than one episode of this, if I enjoy it and it proves popular, even though it's a really amateur job, the way I've set it up on the phone. So I have to introduce the players as we go, but I'll just introduce the starting 11 today. So in goal, we've got our main goalkeeper, Ben Pearce. He's been here for a while. I think is he the captain now? I think he's the captain now. It's 3-star current ability, chance for him to improve in the future. He's not brilliant stats-wise, but, what do you expect from a club with as little money as us, really? But he's a good lad round the dressing room. I think that's what they say, so that's good. He was released by West Brom and Everton before he came to us, so he's got that pedigree at least. Fullback, first ever signing I made, Yavin Siu. He was a youngster who came from Southampton and he broke straight into the team. Did pretty well last season. His form is pretty inconsistent. I force him to be an attacking fullback. He's never quite seemed to love that. There we go. Slightly better success story. Joe Tomlinson. He's our captain actually. Ben Pearce is our vice captain. Joe is captain. He's only 20. So that's the thing that concerns me a little bit about that. Again, 3-star current ability, but he's got a bit more potential. He's been very consistent this season. What can I say? It's been pretty good. Played in pretty much every game. We don't really have too much in the competition in terms of left backs. In central defence, again, we're very young, 20-year-old. Just signed a contract because Filed were sniffing around him. Chypras I call him Kazaklovas. I don't know, it's Kazaklovas. But Kazaklovas, he's been playing for Lithuania under 19s, under 21, something like that. He's been doing pretty well as well. I feel like he's got a lot of potential. So, you know, even though we're well over our wage budget, I had to finally offer him a contract the other week because he was just on a non-contract. He was previously with Brighton. He's had a really good breakthrough season, and alongside him Jubril Okidina, who was released by Spurs, another 20-year-old. Again, we had more experience in there last season, but this lad's come in, and apart from a few little wobbles, he's been pretty amazing on the whole. So they're forming a really good relationship, those two. In central midfield now, returning from last season, Daniel Bailey is a real club man. Used to support the club as a boy. He's only 21 himself. He's actually not a very good player, let's be honest. But his enthusiasm and the fact that I've fallen out with him about 5 times this season. I've tried to get rid of him so much. He doesn't want to go. Nobody wants him. So I just threw him in when we had an injury crisis, and he scored an absolute classic and a brilliant assist in the same game. Totally turned it around for us, won it for us. So at the moment, what with a couple of suspensions and things, I'm keeping faith with him, even though I know, strictly speaking, he shouldn't really be anywhere near the first time. He's joined by a much brighter prospect, probably signing of the season so far, Cian Levy, 18 years old Irishman. Lots of ability there. And he's really hit the ground running, coming from Reading. So, local lad. Well, he's Irish, so maybe not. He probably prefers playing as a box-to-box midfielder, but we're playing him as a deep-lying playmaker at the moment just because Bailey's not as good in that role. So, that's what we're doing. It's not really ideal for either of them. But our most experienced midfielder, Jack Birch, he's elbowed someone in the face and got himself suspended for ages. Supposed summer signing, and supposedly was going to be one of the best players in the division, Rio Glean. He's been so inconsistent. He's actually played well the last couple of games. He can play on the left and the right. Prefers the right, I think. He's just improved a bit recently, so I'm just hoping maybe we can start getting the best out of him, and he can really push on, be the key for us. Another lad we brought in was Mark Walsh. He's suspended as well for a stupid sending off today. So we're going with Ali Thorpe, who was a youngster. Look, he's even got a face, an actual face. He was a youngster when we got here. Lots of ability again, but potential ability. He's not really fulfilling it. I guess the lack of game time and the fact that I can't really ship any of these players out on loan. Just, you know, they're loan listed, they're on the development list, but that nobody seems to want to take them, which is a shame because they're just not getting the games to develop at this vital stage of the career. So that's a shame, but he shows glimpses. So we're sticking him in today because Walsh is suspended, so I just hope that he can, you know, have a decent game. Central attacking midfield, Leo Smith. He's another one who's been inconsistent. He's Welsh. He's played for Wrexham. He's been on loan at Llandudno and Carnarvon. there have been times this season he's looked unplayable for us, and times he's just been totally anonymous. I'm playing him in an advanced playmaker role rather than attacking midfield, because that seems to be what he prefers. Letting him shoot on sight, because he's got a pretty good long shot in him, so, you know, we hope he can kind of drive us on. And then up front on his own, of course, the man of the moment, Josh Kelly, who came in from Maidenhead in the summer. Maidenhead got relegated to our division, so I think everyone was like, why would Hungerford want him? But, you know, keep it Berkshire. That's what I say. He's been on loan a couple of places. I've been really impressed with him so far. He's not been first choice, but, you know, look at this now. 4-star current ability. I'm sure that's an improvement from when we signed him. Harry Crawford's a bit unlucky. He's on the bench. The Ginger Destroyer from Northern Ireland, one of our oldest players at 29. He's been very prolific. He's an expert penalty taker. He's only 3-star current ability. He's not really likely to improve, so he's not really one. He's not really one we can develop. I think that wage is way too high as well, so we might have a difficult decision to make in the summer. If we get promoted, especially, I think we might have to say goodbye, as brilliant as he's been for us these last 2 years. We should probably get into the game, because I've been wittering on so much, haven't I? And I've got work tomorrow. Tim, here's a player I want to tell you about on the bench. Tim Woods, he's come through our youth academy, which is absolutely terrible, by the way, the standard of youth players that we develop. 17 years old, incredible beard, 6'8". He's got really good mentals. He's got good physicals. He's actually only 7 for heading. If we could get that up, he could be an absolute beast for our corner routines. But he's a right back. He can play centre back unconvincingly. He's never started for us. We're just kind of giving him the odd few minutes here and there, because we'd love to actually just bring a player through. The coaches don't think he's anything, but, you know, I just think he's a bit of a cult hero for us. Who else is on the bench? Mike Peck. He's been decent for us. He's on loan from Plymouth. Can take a free kick as well, even though the coaches say he can't. You know, there's an argument that he should be in the team, but he's a bit of an outsider in the squad. He's a bit of a loner, and he's only 19, and obviously he's on loan, so I don't know. It's a bit of a similar story with Henry Woods. He was brilliant for us last season on loan from Gillingham. We got him back again. You see, he scored 6 in 21. He hasn't scored for us yet, and he just hasn't been as good. And it's really hard to know where to put him in. You know, he can play pretty much anywhere, but the problem with that is he's not necessarily better than Leo Smith there. And at the moment, his form just hasn't really been good enough to put him ahead of Bailey and Levy, which sounds crazy. I still think, looking at his stats and everything, that if he can hit the form that he was in last season, plus he's a pretty decent set piece taker, I think he could become a driving force for us between now and the end of the season. And another youngster in the same mould as Ali Thorpe is Jose Macherino. He is I think he's a bit Brazilian. I think he's, let's see, where do you find it? Information. Jose Manuel Macherino de Silva. He's Brazilian as well as English, but you can only speak basic Portuguese. But you don't really need to speak any more than basic Portuguese in Hungerford, most of the time anyway. He's another one who shows glimpses of absolute magic, but is he actually going to achieve anything? Again, he should have gone out on loan somewhere. You know, he's occasionally brilliant for the under-23s. He scored a hat-trick against Kingstonian in the FA Trophy for us earlier in the season. Absolutely unplayable, but he's just done so little else. He's only started 2 league games, to be honest, and he's been having a few fitness problems as well recently. But anyway, I've wittered for 15 minutes. And I can't believe anyone will watch this video if I actually do end up putting it on YouTube. I just want you to get invested in the players so I can make this a regular thing. Because I just love the other Football Manager videos so much. I've always loved commentating. So I wanted to have a go at a really budget version of it myself. So it is now the 2nd of March. And oh gosh, don't even look at the finances. I look, the board are so happy with me, A+, despite the fact I've totally taken the mick with regards wage budget. Although they're pretty stingy. I think we could do with a takeover or something. Facilities at the club are terrible, pitch is terrible, training facilities are poor, youth facilities shocking. You can never negotiate with the chairman to get any more money. Obviously they're delighted with how we're doing in the league, and a couple of players we've brought on loan. They seem to think I'm following the club vision very well. Transfers maybe not quite as good as other stuff. Matches probably haven't been quite as amazing recently. Our form's been a bit up and down. We're kind of hanging on to that top spot. Squad dynamics are going well. Ben Pearce, our keeper, and the veteran Harry Crawford are our most influential players. You've got Captain Joe Tomlinson, Javan Siu, our right back, who we met, and a couple of players who've been here since last season. Ross Finney, defensive midfielder from Scotland, and Seth Twamazi, who can play full back. But both of them are on the transfer list at the moment because I just don't feel that they've got a future of the club. I wanted to get the wage bill down, but it's so quiet on the transfer front. I don't even know where the transfer window is, if there is one. But we need to get back into this game, seeing as I've talked for nearly 20 minutes. I'll have to put a thing on the video. Look, we've got flipping under 23s to sort out now. I should have done all of this before the video started. This is what the professionals do. Just go make a few of these players available for the next under 23 match. Give them a bit of match fitness, etc. Jack Birch better be available too, otherwise he's going to be out of shape. Walsh, yeah, well, I guess Walsh can play as well. I like to feel that the under 23s are strong enough that it can maybe bring through some of the more decent youth players like Gunn, McKenna, Crofts. It's a fairly strong kind of team I'd probably pick for a cup matches, that, to be honest. Oh, look, we got a couple of players in Team of the Week. Mark Walsh, even though he got sent off, and the legend of the moment, Josh Kelly. Ali Thorpe is fit, which is good. I didn't even know there was a chance that he wouldn't be, because I was picking him on the left anyway. And we are one of only 4 games playing tonight. I think, yeah, we're the only team around the top of the league who are playing. Although even Dartford in 3rd are just nowhere near us, really. It's the FA Cup as well. And the FA Trophy, we just don't care. Picked the team already, so we just need to get straight into the match now. See how this goes. 18 to 19 minutes when the match actually starts. Here we go then. Dressing room. Rory Fallon is my assistant manager. You might remember him. New Zealand? Plymouth? Trying to think now. Could have been Plymouth. Bit of a journeyman, I'm sure. Anyway, he's pretty rubbish when it comes to team talk, so I try to make up my own decision. We'll go assertive and say we're the favourites here, so go out and give the fans a performance to cheer. Hasn't worked fantastically well. Tomlinson and Bailey, club stalwarts, happy with that. Not too much going otherwise. We're fairly well prepared. put a lot of stock by kind of players and how they're feeling mentally and stuff. I don't know how important it is, but I'm always looking at things like body language and trying to get an advantage that way. Might not be a big thing, I don't know. Anyway, we've got an early throw in here. It's pouring down at Bullpit Lane, our home ground in West Berkshire. Josh Kelly heads it back to Tomlinson, and there was a header. Not sure who that was. That was Leo Smith, and he headed it straight at the keeper. As a Clovis says, I've got it on fairly extensive highlights, which is why I was only going to show you one game per ep. And Bailey's nicked that off his man. Oh, now he's lost out. There's Javon Sue in the fullback position to Rio Glean. Now St Albans coming forward with Hungbo. Puts the cross in, and Mooney's header, and that grazed the top of the bar. We've only played 2 minutes, and already both teams have had a chance. We're playing this stupid modern tactic of playing out of defence from the back, which my beloved Hull City do in real life. Kelly trying to go forward now. But now St Albans coming forward again. A very lively opening, this. Highlights are normally this extensive, I can tell you. Well, Johnson from distance. Oh, dearie me. That was not in the script. And a brilliant strike from well outside the area by Bobby Johnson. And, well, St Albans have taken the lead in some style. But plenty of time to get back in it. And now they've got a corner with only just over 4 minutes gone, and Pearce is having to punch. Oh, it's bounced back in. Terrible deflection, and it's gone down as a Tomlinson own goal. Oh dear. And you guys are not proving very lucky for me. What an absolute disaster. What on earth was that? So unlucky, Tomlinson. Less than 5 minutes gone. Hungerford 0, St Albans 2, and this was not in the script. Oh dear, what do you say to them? Well, it says they're composed. I don't know how. Do we demand more already? Do we just put this down to a freak of nature and not panic? It's hard to know what to do in this situation. Look, Casa Clovis is very frustrated and furious. As he would be. And we are going to go off the top if we lose this, because of course our goal difference will go lower than Havant's. And honestly, it is all St Albans in these opening stages. Right away, leave it to Thorpe. Sue, we need to get out here and go on the counter. And that's well played. And now Leo Smith can maybe drive forward. He's found Javon Sue on the flank. Ball comes in. Dan Bailey's gonna hit it. Best effort so far, and just wide from our very limited in talent midfielder. Smith with the free kick. Levy turned over the top by the keeper. This is better. Rio Glean goes over to take it. Heads away again. And now Mooney can come away with it for St Albans, and Bailey's just pushed him over. Doesn't get booked. But yes, past the midway point in the first half, and this is not exactly going very well. Casa Clovis has been booked now. He's anxious. We've had a player sent off in the last 2 games, sorry. We're going to have to demand more. You know, we're at home to a side in 18th place. We're top. And it's 0-2. Players are focused. Looking at the stats, they've had 1 shot on target and they're 2-0 up. Absolutely ridiculous. But not creating loads, are we? 7 chances, 3 on target. Barely any highlights towards the end of the half. And now they have a throw right on half time. And the head went up, and that, well, could have even been 3-0. Pearce hung on, and it is half time. And I think the boos would be ringing around Bullpit Lane here. This was pretty, well, probably the worst start to a game. Definitely the worst start to a game we've had all season. Yes, Rory, we know it's disappointing. We're gonna passionately say, come on boys, you can do much better than this. But you know, there's not a lot of green, there's not a lot of players. Apart from Okadina, nobody's been motivated by my words. I mean, I just feel if Havant end up top and we slip into second and we get to April and the season goes to the playoffs again, I just think the disappointment will be too much and I could see us missing out again. So really, there's such a good opportunity today to restore our cushion, but it's not looking likely at the moment. Javansu with a throw-in deep in our own half, forward to Kelly, who heads it back to Rio Glean, our so-called star man, moving inside. It's tackled, but Levy finds Okadina. He looks for Thorpe, but nobody there for him. Tomlinson goes back to Okadina, looking for Kelly now. Is Leo Smith. That's better. Glean into the area, crosses it in. Smith down for Thorpe. It's an easy catch. An easy hold for the keeper. Look at some of these ratings, they are not good. Pretty dire. And I don't think it will be long before we start trying to make some subs and tell them to get creative. For the good it'll do. Here comes St Albans again with the throw. Ball coming in and Pearce collects very calmly. That second goal was really unfortunate, wasn't it? The way it deflected in. Here's Glean. And it's a good ball for Ali Thorpe. Oh, it's deflected into the path. Where are they going? Why have we gone backwards? Leo Smith trying to turn. Bailey shoots wide of the post. And that sums it up at the moment for us. I have to say I was very confident about this game tonight. Part of the reason I thought this could be my first ep. Anyway, Glean with the corner. Headed away. Bailey back in. Oh, and it was turned over the top by the keeper. Strange camera angle from behind the goal, but got a sense of it. Leo Smith will go across for this one. Casa Clovis, again it comes away. Tomlinson back to Leo Smith on the flank. He cuts inside, and is that penalty? It is. He's given a penalty. There's no Harry Crawford on the pitch. So it's Josh Kelly, the man in goal scoring form, to score again, and he does, and that's a better penalty than the one he took a couple of weeks ago, and we are still in this game. 63 minutes gone. Josh Kelly with a nice penalty. There's 7 goals in 5 for him now. Players look fired up. What can we do? I would encourage them, but it never works. St Albans now, I might have to make some subs. Thorpe won it well, and now Kelly going away down the left. Is there anyone in the middle? Headed away. St Albans go back to the keeper. Clovis did well. Is Leo Smith to Thorpe. Cutting inside again. Josh Kelly. Cutting in from the left. Kelly has a go. And it is just trickled away into the side netting. And with 20 minutes left, we are going to have to make some subs here. Clovis booked, anxious, tired. But I'm just looking. Thorpe, bit limited. Bailey, 6.3. He's just a limited player, isn't he? Just a limited player. Right, let's make some changes. Mike Peck's coming on. He's good in the air as well as Mike Peck from corners, so you never know. Henry Woods, really on paper, is a much better player than Bailey. And I think what we're going to have to do is move Rio Glean over to the left and bring either Maturino or Crawford on to the other side. I think he's going to have to be Crawford. Such a talisman for the club. And we'll see how that goes. Like for like swaps, really. And I think they're all big enough characters to cope with me saying something to them like, get out and make a difference. Although only Mike Peck looks happy by it. 20 minutes left. Can we salvage at least a point here? I would take a point now, as it would just keep us that 1 point above. I don't think it's looking too likely. Demand more. Come on. Need one more highlight here. Right then, Tomlinson going down the left. Most of our play seems to have come down the left in this half. Levy spreads it out to Javon Sew. Leo Smith. Oh, into Kelly must score. Does score. Excellent play. 10 minutes left. It's 2-2. And Josh Kelly's done it again. He's got his second. Excellently done. And look, really well worked as well. Sew found Leo Smith. And look at this. Look at that for a beautiful ball. That is one of the best balls we've played all season. And that is him in his favoured advanced playmaker role. Could we go up and win it? We've gone up to first by dint of that point. We've got to be the team now to try and go on. Come on, I can't demand more again. Maybe tell them to get creative again. Sometimes you can over-instruct them. 2 minutes left plus stoppages, and it's St Albans now. Napa tried to sign him in the summer. But our wage budget wasn't enough, and he went there. I think he's a good player. Anyway, no point talking about St Albans players now, because here's Glean on the other side. Rio Glean. Oh, it's deflected away. But Tomlinson can look to retrieve it. But St Albans again with the ball. We need to get it off them. Sew with a header. Here's Crawford. Pinging it. Glean, it's a really good ball. Oh, and he's straight to the keeper. What a chance. And couldn't he have cut that back across? 4 minutes to be added on. It's going away from us, this game. Seconds remaining. Free kick for St Albans. Shulton with it. We've actually played the 4 minutes, I think. Coming in. Oh, and Pierce hangs on. And for a minute there, I thought they were going to snatch it with the last kick of the game. That would have been cruel on us. Referee blows for full time, and, well, on paper, a poor result, but in the circumstances, an excellent second half fight back. And I mean, hard to know what to say to the players after that, really. I think you're right, Rory. We have to say that we appreciate their efforts. And just looking at the ratings, there were some poor performances out there. Siu was poor. Okadina didn't have one of his better games at all. It's really only the goal scorers who did well, and Leo Smith, fantastic, brilliant assist for the goal. That's it. It's only a point, but it's enough to keep us top, and I might be back for a second video in the future. If you watched all of that, I'm absolutely amazed, and thank you very much. But, you know, worth the experiment. Thanks, and see you in another game in the future.